The Spirit in the Body by Robert Crosbie. Letter 10. The coming together of theosophists of differing degrees and qualities, yes, of training, is bound to stir up latent personalities, preconceptions and prejudices. The mental and psychic atmosphere engendered by their cooperation must work inwards as well as outwards, and still further must arouse evil forces, for it is a known occult law that every advance made along the path that leads to selflessness arouses the forces that are opposed to that consummation, and this is true individually and collectively. In this immense work which we have undertaken, trials of various kinds have to be encountered, and the ones by whom we are tried are those of our own household. There are lessons in every event, even the smallest. We have to do the best we can and leave the results to the great law. About the meetings, your idea in regard to them is all right. Go right ahead in whatever way seems to afford the best opportunity. Use your best judgment and do not be disappointed at anything in the way of results that may turn up, just keep on looking for ways and means. Act as seems best under any circumstances that may arise. Something will come of it. If that something is different from what you would have liked or planned for, never mind, keep on going. Better make no plan other than to get to work along the line of least resistance. One step will bring another, c'est le premier pas qui coûte. As to Mrs. Besat's opinion of Leadbeater, it is of value only to those who see value in it, and in any event it is only an opinion. It has been said that he who speaks of seeing and meeting the Master thereby loses touch. My judgment would be that if, as is said, Leadbeater had stood face to face with the great initiator, it would never have been spoken of by him, and no other would know the fact. Leadbeater sought to be recognized as a great teacher, and in order to break into other realms of nature used most abhorrent means, black magic, in fact. One may be sure that anyone claiming adeptship is not an adept, and this in the very nature of things. Apply this to Leadbeater and Mrs. Besat, who are continually making public claims in this direction. The question arises, how much is real, how much for effect, how much self-delusion? The imagination is the image-making power and may create a glorified image of oneself. I am sorry it all occurred, for in the public mind theosophy is connected with it, and many strange things are assumed to be theosophy. Perhaps I should submit to you my opinion that in the interests of those who are new to the subject of theosophy, and because of the general tendency to follow personalities, particularly living ones, it is not wise to put such in mental touch with writers, who, however good any particular writing of theirs may be, have failed to show a true appreciation of theosophic principles. I say this at the risk of being misunderstood. It is for you to accept or reject my opinion, as it meets your viewpoint. The most painful experiences I have had in my theosophical life have been the witnessing of the negation of theosophic principles by those professing them, and were it not my duty to put you in possession of the facts as I know them, facts representing dangers which lie about us in our quest, I would not have spoken. You asked for the facts, I have to give them as I know them. It should be said that while we condemn the act, we never condemn the actor. The theosophist must recognize that failures are not irremediable if followed by undaunted struggles upwards, and for professing theosophists, who to our eyes appear to have strayed from the path, we know that the time will come when the failure will be recognized, and the struggle back will be hard. Such must necessarily have our pity and sympathy, if we are true to the spirit of the teachings. Here and there failures will be noted, but there is much to encourage. There is a distinct change for the better in public sentiment. Religions, sciences and governments are changing little by little. The great ones do not repine, neither do they cease working. Let us follow their example. You may remember that K.H. wrote, "He who does all he knows and the best he can does enough for us," and again, "Ingratitude is, not one of our vices. Now possibly it may be seen what our lodge stands for, the three objects as laid down by HPB and Masters, and along the lines laid down by them: no dogmatism, no personal followings, no spiritual authority. Thus each may follow his line of development with such assistance as may be afforded by those who have travelled further on the path than himself, when such help is requested. In this way, true discrimination is gained and the bane of all spiritual movements, authority, dogmatism, and their corollary, personal followings, avoided. Perhaps you may have seen how solicitous I have been to get you started right, free from mental encumbrances, using your judgment always to check your intuitions, until in the course of time you come to a direct perception of truth, and why I am so fearful of any abridgment of individual judgment, or cessation of effort to develop individual intuition. I see that you can be of much help, and to fit you for that, as far as my assistance may avail, will be my duty and pleasure. But always remember that behind the immediate helper, there is the great lodge whose aid is given to all who serve them.